Today I fucked up by turning my cat into an iPad kid. Today I fucked up by turning my cat into an iPad kid. Recently, my TV broke, so I decided it would be cool to replace it with a projector. A few days ago, the projector arrived, and I spent a few hours setting it up and playing around with it. Then, I had the bright idea to put on one of those videos made for cats, the ones with insects, lasers, and mice, to see how my cat would react. She fucking loved it. Naturally, I let her watch for about an hour before turning it off for the night. She protested a little, but nothing too serious, at least, not compared to what was coming. Over the next few days, I foolishly let her watch the projector a few more times, thinking it was hilarious how excited she was about her new toy. However, as time went on, she started to get a bit more vocal, growling and meowing at me to get my attention. I soon realized it was because of the ads. She was throwing tantrums because she couldn't stand waiting. Now, she complains whenever I turn it off, or if she gets interrupted. And bonus points, my YouTube now thinks I'm a cat. Too long did not read. I let my cat watch videos on my new projector, and now she throws tantrums like an impatient iPad kid when I don't let her binge insect videos. This is by far the best today I fucked up post ever. TBH, this is the funniest thing I think I've ever read. I have almost done the same, but with our 65-inch TV and a live stream of chickens on YouTube. Man up and pay for no ads. This reminds me of my beautiful cat that passed away at 22 a couple of years ago. His favorite game was chasing fish around on his iPad. In his later years, smiling cat with heart eyes. There is a creator on FB, Ellie watches TVIRC, that her cat has to watch TV daily and has preferred shows. Today I fucked up by not closing the bathroom door. I live alone. Today I got up at 6 a.m. to relieve myself. Since I live alone, I didn't bother to close the bathroom door. I have a very friendly cat, who naturally, though is human, stirring at an unusual hour on a Sunday morning, decided it must mean I needed accompaniment. So, while I'm standing at the toilet, doing my thing, the cat, who has a large fluffy tail, comes in and decides to be all friendly and express his affection by twisting around my legs in the usual manner and giving friendly little chirps, etc. Then he kinda did an orbit around the toilet, during which time he swung his tail into the space above the toilet, wherein it encountered the waterfall, to put it politely. Because his tail is large and fluffy, he didn't feel it, so his tail got quite wet. Next thing, he continued twisting around my legs, and in doing so his tail became a paintbrush. That cat painted my bare legs with my own piss. Cue in scheduled 6 a.m. shower. Too long did not read. I left the bathroom door open during an early morning visit, and my cat wandered in and his tail got in the way and got wet while I was relieving myself, which he then brushed against me. You don't live alone. My wife and kids are always rescuing and fostering cats, so we always have new ones around. I've pissed on multiple kittens because they're dumb and just have to jump up blindly to see what's going on. Usually only once per cat, since I have yet to meet any actually into that kind of thing. Seriously, though, it gets on you, the toilet, the floor, and of course, the cat. Surprise bathroom cleaning, shower, change of clothes, and the best part, giving a cat a bath. Hopefully, the cat had a bath, also. Rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. I live by myself and own a cat, and I always close the door. Never understand people who go, no, I can't lock the kitty out, he meows and cries. Then let him meow and cry FFS. All you're doing is teaching the cat that if they scream at a door, you'll open it for them. One of many advantages to sitting sweat droplets. Sit down to pee and you'll never have this problem again. You also will not have pee splattered on your floor and walls. Today I fucked up by mentioning the chaos god Corn during intercourse. Hello friends, and hopefully Warhammer enjoyers. I am slightly distressed over my actions a few days ago. 30 male, having been talking to this woman, 33F, for about a month now. I am a very fit man and spend a good amount of time in the gym and outdoors being active. No part of personality gives off this guy plays the tabletop game Warhammer 40k or watches anime or PC games or knows way too much about Star Wars. And typically when I am dating women I hide all these aspects about myself. I have been having regular intercourse with this woman throughout our whole relationship, and naturally the time of the month came when Mother Nature bears her ugly head. This was no issue for me. I've been many places in my life and the Red Sea is somewhere I've sailed before. As I've grown in age, naturally I've had more time and money to invest into my hobbies, so I have recently really taken the deep dive into Warhammer, including the lore, which brings me to Khorne the Blood God. I believe this need no more explanation. If you're curious about the details, I suggest perusing the many sources on the World Wide Web. Back to the intercourse, I had noticed that there was blood everywhere, which caused her to notice and remark, "Oh, this is messy." Which in return I said loudly, "Blood for the blood god." After which the whole mood changed. We continued and finished, cleaned up, and subsequently during the pillow talk she asked what was that about. This ladies gentlemen and gentlemen is where I made the worst mistake I have ever made and began to explain to her my 0.001% of knowledge of the Warhammer universe. The rest of the night she turned into a mute and we slept. I left in the morning and now it's been a few days and despite reaching out multiple times as I really value our relationship and the time we spent together, I have not heard back from her. Do you think there's any way I can salvage this? Too long did not read. I said blood for the blood god during period sex and now this woman won't talk to me. I suggest not intentionally hiding aspects of yourself and the things you enjoy if you want to find someone compatible with you. You just explained it wrong. Just tell her you have the same hobbies as Henry Cavill. Why would you want to date a woman who isn't talking to you because of your hobbies? Good riddance if she doesn't come to terms with it. If you're fit and have money you'll find lots of women who will tolerate or even enjoy your nerdy hobbies with you. No fear my friend. You mean you turned her into a sister of silence? Bah dumb TS's. Why are you hiding your hobbies? You're 30 and still acting like a teenager, pretending to be someone else to please others because you think they will reject you otherwise. You're better off finding someone who doesn't judge your hobbies. P.S. Also just a thought, maybe she finds period sex embarrassing and she felt like you were making fun of her. You never know these things unless you talk about it. She is probably just going down a Warhammer rabbit hole of her own and hasn't had time to message back. Then again she might be a sister of battle player and dislikes the blasphemy of the chaos god's name. Ya know for the EMPORER. Today I fucked up by being impatient in the drive-thru. I pull into Taco Bell drive-thru behind two cars. Wait my turn and ask if they still have their cravings box. The guy says yes, I tell him I'll get that and mention my drink. Silence. I wait patiently for 3-5 million before he comes back on verifies my order and then tells me to pull around. Two cars in front of me drive off. I get to the window, pay her and she hands me my drink. I wait about 5 minutes before she asks me to pull forward. No problem. 3 cars proceed to pull up behind me and drive off with their food fairly quickly. The 4th car behind me waits a moderately long time, but as I see the cashier handing them 2 full bags of food, I've had enough. The receipt says it's been a little over 20 million since the cashier rung me up. I'm done. I turn off my car and head towards the door frustrated and planning on just asking for a refund and leaving. I pull open the door and come face to face with a man in a uniform holding a Taco Bell bag of food. He says, "Sorry about." I frustratingly cut him off with a, "Geez man." Grab the food, turn around, get in my car and drive off. I get down the road and realize this is not my food. This is enough food for a family of 4. Now it occurs to me that I just snagged the food of a car 3 places ahead of me. Someone who was parked in a parking spot, and sitting there long before I pulled around. This makes me feel miserable. An even more horrifying thought occurs to me. Maybe that food belonged to the guy at the door. Thinking back, I cannot guarantee he was even wearing a Taco Bell uniform. Maybe it was another fast food chain. Or maybe he was getting off work and heading home to feed his family. There is a good chance this man was heading home with his food, almost gets run down by someone storming into Taco Bell, is nice enough to say, "Sorry about that," and then gets cut off and robbed of his food right out of his hands. I am a monster. Too long did not read. Tired of waiting for my food, I accidentally steal someone else's order right out of their hands. Yeah, this is a fuck up, but it's funny as hell LMAO. Straight to hell LMAO. Geez man, his children waiting in the car. You can never go back. Lol, I nearly snorted Dr. Pepper out my nose. Thinking of if it was the guy's food. He be standing there like what the fuck just happened. Giphy, L0MYP6WAFFAR7Q1 Joe. How that guy felt when you took that food.